Utilization Analysis training. This training provides instructions for department fleet units, fleet coordinators, and staff responsible for managing state fleet assets. The training covers the following: the purpose and background of the utilization analysis process, the overview of the utilization analysis report requirements and updates, a detailed review of each worksheet contained in the utilization analysis spreadsheet, and the department responsibilities and available resources. The utilization analysis supports state fleet oversight and ensures appropriate use of state-owned assets to ensure the state fleet is right-sized, cost-effective, and environmentally sustainable. The utilization analysis process was established as a direct result of Executive Order B211 and supports the statutory responsibility of departments, ensuring that all state fleet assets are being used properly for state business. The utilization analysis reviews the data usage for the previous fiscal year. All usage data must be entered into the Fleet Asset Management Services portal, FAMS portal, by July 15th. Departments will receive an annual utilization analysis spreadsheet, UA spreadsheet, containing the usage data for owned and leased assets at the end of July. The department must provide complete justifications to the fleet policy team by the deadline indicated in that email. A completed and accepted UA is a prerequisite before a department fleet acquisition plan, FAP, can be reviewed. A completed UA is valid for the fiscal year that it's approved, plus one additional fiscal year. To ensure timely processing of department FAPs, a UA must be completed and accepted by the department no later than December 31st. Any delay in the completion of the UA after that date will result in a delay in FAP processing. The UA spreadsheet contains the following worksheets that we'll go over next: summary, owned utilization, leased utilization, justifications needed, data corrections needed, and follow-up compliance. The summary worksheet provides a consolidated overview of the department's utilization results. The first table indicates the department name, the threshold type, Big 8 or non-Big 8, based on department fleet size, the total number of required justifications, and the total number of data reporting corrections that need to be addressed in the fiscal year data review period. The second table indicates the utilization determinations for all owned and leased fleet assets. Meets utilization identifies the number of assets that met utilization thresholds. The justifications needed identifies the number of assets determined to be underutilized or marginally utilized, requiring justifications. Corrections and reporting needed are the number of assets with inaccurate or insufficient reporting data requiring department correction. Finally, the pie chart below visually represents these determinations. The owned and leased utilization worksheets list all department owned and leased assets included in the utilization analysis spreadsheet. No action is needed by the department for these two worksheets, as they are for informational purposes only. The Justifications Needed worksheet is the worksheet that requires the department to provide complete and detailed justifications for each asset that was identified as marginally utilized and underutilized, as well as assets that were reported as inaccurate or insufficient data. The blue columns are system-generated, informational fleet asset data, and historical utilization results that should not be modified. The yellow columns are department-required fields. Every cell in every yellow column and row must be populated by the department before the UA is submitted to the fleet policy team for final review. Department actions. Do not use acronyms or abbreviations. Spell out all program and unit names completely. Do not modify system-generated data in the blue columns or override any of the 8 underutilized reason options in the drop-down menu. Do populate every cell in the 4 yellow columns and rows for every asset. UA submissions with blank or incomplete cells will be returned to the department. Do select the appropriate underutilization reason in the underutilization reason column from the menu in the drop-down list. Do provide a complete and thorough narrative justification in the Department Response Notes column that corresponds to the bulleted prompts in the Justification Information Required column. Reason codes. Departments must select one of 8 underutilization reason codes by selecting one underutilization reason from the drop-down menu in the yellow underutilization reason column. Then the department must provide a corresponding narrative justification for the underutilization reason selected. Every bullet in the corresponding Justification Information Required column must be addressed in the Department Response Notes column. The list of 8 approved underutilization reasons are: asset being disposed within 12 months, Code 3 equipped asset, critical need for asset, disposed, down for repair or modification, justification not provided, other, vacancy in position. For example, if a critical need asset is selected, the department must also ensure the complete narrative justification in the Department Response Notes cell for that asset. The narrative must touch on all the bulleted prompts for that selection. A clear description of the operational need that requires the specific asset remain in the fleet. An explanation of the work that cannot be completed without this asset and why other assets cannot meet the need. Any program or operational workload details that demonstrate the asset's ongoing importance. For example, duties, the service area, frequency of use, and operational environment. Avoid providing general statements and describe the specific function of the asset. These are sample department responses demonstrating complete narrative justifications for every underutilization reason that successfully met the bulleted component for the underutilization reason selected. Each narrative justification must address every bullet listed in the Justifications Information Required column. Departments are encouraged to provide any additional relevant information to further support their justification for retaining an asset that has been identified as underutilized or marginally utilized. The data corrections worksheet is for informational purposes only. If assets identified in the worksheet reflect inaccurate or insufficient reporting data, the department may correct the usage data in the FAMS portal, then contact the fleet policy team to request an updated UA be generated. The follow-up worksheet is intended to provide a progress report on the actions the department was required to take on the determinations that were assigned to those fleet assets in a prior completed and accepted UA. The worksheet tracks the follow-up requirements for assets assigned a 1-year grace or that were unjustified and were to be disposed. The departments must review the report and ensure the determinations are being followed and use the report for future fleet acquisition planning. Please note, the Fleet Asset Management Services Unit, when assessing the fleet acquisition needs indicated by the department on an FAP, will review this follow-up worksheet during the department's FAP analysis. Departments may refer to the following resources for further assistance while completing the UA. The Fleet Asset Utilization Analysis and Underutilized Asset website is available, as well as a job aid provided in the email. Departments may also email the Fleet Policy and Compliance Unit with any UA-related questions. For questions related to leased assets, please contact DGS Fleet Operations. These resources help support a successful utilization analysis completion and ensure a timely submission. This concludes the utilization analysis training. Thank you very much.